Welcome, one and all to more Trails in the Sky 3rd. Last time we left off, we are going to head to the next floor, but we're taking a side detour. I want to open up the Star Door. Because I want to. And because I need money. I also want to see what Divine Eye does, which is the course we get from this. Thank you, and the game freeze again. Hits the door, yep. It did it again. Now you've got the support. I shall grant to you a memory fragment and my blessing. One month after the collapse of the Librarch, the banquet to celebrate the crisis' successful resolution was over, with Estelle and her friends having largely left the capital to go elsewhere. One of them, however, Prince Oliviert Reiser Ornor, sat rather comfortably in the ambassador's office in Gransel's Erebonian embassy, his work in the country not quite settled. I can't believe that my deepest apologies for not noticing that you were His Highness Prince Oliviert sooner. Oh, I'm not surprised you never noticed. I may be a prince, but my mother was a commoner. What point is there in bothering to remember my face? It's not as though I often showed myself in the palace or attended high society gatherings. Knowing me certainly isn't going to help you in moving up the ranks, my friend. There's no need to be so humble, Your Highness. Besides, I'm actually rather grateful to you, Ambassador. You gave me all kinds of useful advice during my stay here at the embassy. That, I'm sure, will be to my benefit in the future. Well-meant words such as act like a man of the Empire for once in your life, and stop idling here, go home, and try doing some damned work. Your Highness, Your Highness, I think you've tormented him enough for one day. The ambassador behaved in the same way any other sane man would in his position. If anything, I'd say he has every right to be angry at us for keeping the truth from him for so long. But, Muller, I suppose you're right. I'll spare him any more teasing for now. I actually wasn't joking about being grateful to you, though. You truly have done admirable work over the past month. I have? Acting as a pipeline with the Empire, checking the safety of Erebonia's residing in Liberal, helping an international liner service to resume, and those are only the tip of the iceberg. You've done so much more. You have my deepest thanks as a prince of the Empire. I'm not worthy of such praise, Your Highness. You, however, deserve the utmost for braving the danger you did flying up to the Librarch. All of what happened seemed to have caused quite a commotion in our homeland, so the people seem to be rather relieved now that they know the danger has passed. It's all thanks to your courage that they are able to rest easy. Oh, there's no point in flattering me, Ambassador. I just did what I could, nothing more, nothing less, and I couldn't have done anything alone. All I was able to accomplish was thanks to the help of those around me. I'm fairly removed from the stereotypes of Erebonians as stern, strong, and self-sufficient, if I do say so myself. As rude as it may be to agree, perhaps you're correct. And yet, I believe your willingness to be flexible most definitely helped rather than hindered you here. I believe people like you are exactly what the Empire is going to need in the future. Regardless of how I may feel about His Excellency the Chancellor's approach. Ambassador? Well, this is a surprise. I was under the impression that you supported the Chancellor. Then again, you are a noble. Does that lead you to oppose his reformist policies, perhaps? I may be a noble on paper, but I'm only a baron. All in all, I generally fall in favor of his reformist policies. Be that as it may, while this may be just the result of being in Liberal for so long and being influenced by the ways of its people, I do sometimes find myself becoming frightened by his hardline approach. I can't help but wonder exactly what direction he's trying to take our old nation. Interesting. Your Highness? Oh, I was just thinking that I'm quite glad to have taken a chance to engage in such fruitful talk with you just before parting the country. I pray you will continue doing all you can to ensure the peace of Lyrebrol and its surrounding nations while I'm gone. Preferably in cooperation with Ambassador Cochrane. Yes, let's not forget her, I suppose. Still, it's true that since the non-aggression pact was signed, there has been some progress with regards to the crossbell problem. And given that it was Lyrebrol who proposed said pact, that makes my role in future negotiations very important indeed. I presume that is what you're trying to say. You're a sharp one, my good man. Excellent. Now I can return to the capital with my mind at ease. Leave everything here to me, Your Highness. I will be looking forward to hearing what you achieve back in our homeland. This truly is a country like no other. I never thought the day would come when I would hear things like that from a noble of the Empire. Indeed, he's apparently somewhat less of an obstinate man than I thought he was. Perhaps this nation's very air has the power to genuinely change people. It seems to have had an effect on you too. I feel like I'm seeing a lot more smiles from you these days than I used to. I'm loath to admit it, but that may well be true. I still find myself wishing that you would learn from Librelian's dignity and sense of restraint, however. Two qualities you don't particularly possess in any measure. In fact, you have far too much of their opposites. You say that, but these qualities are the only weapon I have. I don't have much that will allow me to compete against the Chancellor. I need to use what little happens to be tucked in my corner as best as I can. Have there been any changes in our plans? None. We should be able to proceed as arranged. 3 days ago, the Chancellor left the capital on a tour of eastern Erebonia. Tomorrow you will be returning to there aboard the Aerosol while he's still out in the east. All those who need to be made aware of our return will be given proper notice. Your arrival in Erebonia will make a real impact, of that I am certain. What potential obstructions to the plan are there at present? Nothing major. There have been some movements in the Intelligence Division's 4th subdivision, but not much. There's a chance that everyone is being cautious because the aerosol is involved, but I'd put greater odds on the idea that everyone is just treating this as a pompous performance by you and not taking it seriously. Well, they'd be right to it is. I have no choice but to start here, even if it means I have to use Lyrebrol. And if I'm going to put on a show, why not put on the finest one the skies have ever seen? I suppose I can't argue that. I'm sorry to trouble you at this late hour, Your Highness. A message has arrived for you from Hemdaller. Would you have me do? Really? All right, come in. Pardon me. Well, if it isn't Letcher, I was wondering where you'd been. I haven't seen you all day. I've been exceptionally busy with work since this morning, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to be able to come and see you earlier since you'll be leaving tomorrow. I'm terribly sorry for not being able to. Never mind that. If that work of yours is done now, we three could always enjoy some sensual quality time for the remainder of the night. So what was the message from the Capital Secretary? They've acknowledged receipt of His Highness's message. However, they didn't anticipate you would be able to arrive all the way from Gronsel in less than half a day. As such, they're currently in a minor panic trying to ensure everything's ready for the ceremony tomorrow. That doesn't come as a surprise. There's nothing like the aerosol when it comes to speed at home. How cruel you both are, so deftly ignoring my proposal. Although it sounds as though the stage will be set in time, now I need to decide on an outfit that will leave everyone's jaws on the floor to sweeten my arrival. Perhaps a glistening coat and white loincloth will do the trick. That'd make a grand impact, alright. I almost wish I could go along and see it myself. Please don't encourage him. You sound remarkable. You show remarkable promise for someone so young. What do you say to coming back on the aerosol with me? I'd welcome your company. Your work here in Libreville is just about done as it is, isn't it? Your offer is certainly tempting, but I'm afraid I have another job to take care of soon. The thought is appreciated, of course. Well, it is a shame. Good luck with that next job of yours. Thank you. Well, if you'll excuse me. So the second secretary, Letcher Arundel. Is it safe to assume he's one of the chancellors? Almost definitely, yes. He came through Hawken Gate on foot and took up his new position at the embassy a month ago. And right around the same time we headed to the library arc aboard the aerosol, that is. And there's no way that could possibly be a coincidence. No, it couldn't. The most likely possibility seems to be that he's part of the intelligence division. Are you sure not doing anything regarding him all this time was a good idea? Oh, absolutely. We needed some way to find out what the Chancellor was up to, after all. We'll probably get some kind of reaction from the Chancellor through his reports at some point. Probably in about 2 weeks when the Chancellor's tour is finished. You'd planned that far ahead all along, had you? Well, in that case, I'll be sure that we're ready. I'll be counting on you, love. Oh, something the matter? Not really. It's just that the moon has come out, and what a beautiful full moon it is. It's strange to think that this will be the last time we're able to see the moon from here. Truth be told, I'm going to miss it. Well, looks like putting a smile on your face is a little more often isn't the only thing Larable's done for you. It's opened your eyes to the life's natural beauty as well. But in all seriousness, we'll just have to do all we can to be able to come back here and see it again one day, while we're both still alive. Indeed. The next morning. Your Majesty, Your Highness, I humbly thank you for both your generous hospitality during my stay in your fine kingdom. You were even gracious enough to humor my brazen request of escorting me back to Hemdelair aboard the aerosol. This debt I owe you will be repaid many times over in the future. Rest assured of that. Oh, you need to think of this as anything we went out of our way for. Escorting an honored state guest back home is a matter of course, particularly a guest whom we owe a great debt of gratitude. If you ever have the opportunity, please do come back to Libreville again in the future. I imagine Estelle and Joshua will be back by then too, so we'll all be able to give you a nice warm welcome. I'm already excited for my next visit. Have they left the country yet, by the way? They're busy getting ready to leave over in Roland at the moment, I believe. I plan to see them off when the time comes. I see. Incidentally, while the ruins of Hamel are currently sealed off, I'll do what I can on my end to ensure that they are allowed inside. Could I trouble you to pass that along to them? Certainly. Thank you very much, Your Highness. Oh, think nothing of it. It's the least I could do after all they've done for me. I owe you a great deal too, Cassius. If not for your assistance, stopping the armored division from crossing into Lyrebrol wouldn't have been as simple as it was. I can say the same to you. Still, I'm sure you're aware the outcome will have been well within the realm of possibility of the Chancellor. I doubt he was even surprised by the incident. Really? Most likely not. Erebonia had nothing anything to gain from using the situation to occupy Liberal. Certainly not to the extent that it would be worth going out of their way to develop ineffective steam tanks. The only reason I can see for him doing what he did was a show of power to surrounding nations, a statement not even without orbital power, Erebonia's army could still act. I indeed suspect that was his true aim all along. Goodness, so you did notice. The orbital shutdown phenomenon was a complete unknown to the rest of the continent. Perhaps it might never occur again, but there is always a chance it might, whether it's here or somewhere else entirely. I hope the Empire only built a relatively small number of those tanks and all, too. It's only not enough. I hear the Empire only built a relatively small number of those tanks, too. It's only not enough to launch a full-scale invasion. By the sounds of it, they were just put together in Rainford's factories using parts intended for standard orbital tanks. As it stands, the know-how to put together tanks like that only exists in the Empire, and in those unprecedented times, no other nation has the time or resources to try and develop extremely ineffective steam-powered weaponry. In a sense, because of what just happened, the Imperial Armor's effort as a deterrent is even greater than ever. He's using war as a diplomatic tool, and very effectively at that. None of this had even occurred to me. I have a long way to go before I'm fit to be ruler of this country. Do your best. Don't beat yourself up too much about it. He's no ordinary foe to even the most hardened veterans. The Chancellor always seems to be thinking several steps ahead of the rest of the world. It's impressive no matter what he may think of his actual ideas. I'm quite the reckless fool to be trying to challenge him if I do say so myself. Don't be silly, Your Highness. How could you say that with a smile on your face? How you say that with a smile on your face is utterly beyond me. You should focus on building yourself a strong foothold to begin with. I do hope you'll be careful. No matter what may occur, you be sure not to lose sight of exactly where you stand. Of course, Your Majesty. If I were to go and bring shame upon myself now, I'd be wasting all the effort involved in escorting me back home. I'll be sure to take what you have said to heart. Excuse me, Your Majesty. Hilda? Whatever's the matter? It's not often to see you so flustered. My apologies, Your Majesty. It's just that a guest for you arrived all of a sudden at the castle. Ordinarily, I would never have rushed in while you were meeting with others, but the visitor is so irregular that I thought you should know at once. Irregular? How so? Seems it's about time to take my leave, then. Actually, the visitor said he would like to greet you as well, and not just Her Majesty. What? Hilda, just who was this visitor? Well, he introduced himself as Chancellor Goliath Osborne of the Erebonian Empire.